Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Brodes, and today I have a sequel or a follow-up to my previous video, which was the development update on the town remake. And so this is just going to talk a little bit about sort of what's changed since the last video, how the map is progressing, and we're going to talk a little bit about the beta testing period for you guys as well. So if you're interested in any of that, yeah, stick around and tune into the video. So before we get into anything, guys, there are just a few things or a few disclaimers that I just want to outline for you all. So one, the first thing being that there's not going to be any lava in this map, okay? So I guess it sort of wasn't super clear in the previous video, but this does not take place during Black Ops 2, okay? So it does not take place during the events of transit, basically. So there's not going to be any lava. The ground is not going to be all destroyed and risen like it is in, transit and town. If you are looking for that kind of vibe, we are blessed to have the likes of Zella and Dobby working on a more faithful transit recreation. So obviously as a part of that, they will be making town. And obviously there are some renditions of town already that do sort of reimagine that that survival map as well. Okay, so if you guys are looking for something more along those lines, you might be better suited, or you might be interested in going and checking out those projects. But for this project, it takes place, I don't want to say during the events of Black Ops 6 per se, but it's more in line with that, okay? The second thing is that this is all subject to change, okay? So for anyone who's interested in testing, or if you're otherwise just following along, what you see is subject to change in the sense of nothing here is final, okay? Like the map is still in development. There's definitely areas I haven't yet finished with regards to mapping. There's obviously stuff that I haven't yet implemented with regards to scripting. So a lot of this stuff I basically won't know until it's implemented into the map, and so then I can see how the map feels overall with respect to the progression, the features, the quality of life, all of that sort of stuff as well, okay? So please just keep that in mind, but do provide your feedback, but just understand that what you see isn't the final product yet, obviously. And yeah, that's really it. It's just those two sort of key things. Most of everything else we'll just sort of touch on as we get through the project here. So yeah, the first thing that I want to sort of get into here is the perk machines. Now, one of the things that I spoke about in the previous video was just that the perk machines did intend to change. So we have now currently got the Cold War machines and perks in, which does include the perk cans along with the sounds. And we've also got some Cold War style shaders, as you can see down the bottom there. The perk locations themselves are still the same as previously. So Speed Cola here, PhD's on the roof, Jug will be in the bank, Double Tap in the apartment/workshop. I do have Electric Cherry, which is slightly moved in location. It's now over here in the pocket, or in this corner, next to this building, which is also new. So we'll touch on that shortly. And then Stamina Up is in the bowling alley. Okay. Now, the perks are subject to change, not only in the perk choices, but the perk locations. So again, this is subject to feedback from you guys. So anyone who's interested in testing and playing, we'll dive into that a little bit later in the video. The other thing that I've changed, the other significant change right now, is the zombie spawn count and zombies per player. Now, I'm yet to sort of be able to test this in I guess a group setting, or a collective setting, more than one player. So right now, the zombie count is probably a little higher than I probably see it ending up being. But right now, the zombie count is larger. I do believe it's a closer representation of what it's like in Black Ops 6. But if we take sort of this playthrough as an example, I ended round one there around or a little over 2,000 points, which is pretty significant. It's a pretty significant amount of points to start off with. So I might look at decreasing that slightly, just because I do want to, I guess, delay the progression a tiny bit. So not too drastic, but I don't want the map to be too slow to start off with either. So I've got to find that right balance. The zombie AI behavior, the rolling and the tumbling, that's still currently in. I spoke about this in the video, I believe. If not, it came up a lot in the comments. I don't think I'll be keeping this in, but I just have yet to remove it. But again, subject to change, okay? I'll see what the vast majority thinks. If they like it, I may keep it in. For me personally, I'm not really either or. Like I could care if it's in there or not. All right, and so with those out of the way, we are going to start exploring the map a little bit more. So the same thing we did last time, I'm just going to start with a few areas, show you sort of what's changed, if anything. Before we do dive into exploring through the map though, if you guys are interested in playtesting the map as it currently is, so the beta version, you can actually do so through my Patreon. Now the Patreon or the early access essentially, or the testing access, will only be available to Prime and Elite members, and it will be live as of Thursday, so Thursday just gone. So by the time you guys are watching this video, you know, that access to the map in a testing environment will be live. Okay, so if you are interested in that, I'll leave a link to my Patreon in the description. You guys can go check it out. Again, just to be completely transparent, you do need to be either a Prime or Elite member. So with that in mind, you know, you don't have to stay subscribed. I would highly recommend that you just leave it for a couple of days so I can sort of go through, figure out, or, you know, determine that you guys have in fact became a member, so I can all, like, you know, take note of it and document it and whatnot. But you do not need to remain a member if you do not wish to do so. The only incentive to remaining is just obviously the ongoing benefits or perks for those tiers. And it does obviously help financially support the projects as well. So that helps me in the way of commissioning things like custom weapons, AI, you know, all that sort of stuff, all the good stuff that really help flesh out a map. But absolutely not mandatory, only if you're interested. But I definitely would appreciate the feedback. So yeah, definitely keen on getting some people to test. Now, moving into the restaurant. So the restaurant has been updated with interior. Now, this is not finished, okay? This is currently just a sort of work in progress layout of the interior. It does sort of play and flow a little bit different to the original, okay? So this is now all occupied space, but you can obviously navigate around it. There wasn't really much necessity to have a big open space underneath here. There was nothing really down here to do. There will be stuff with regards to the quest, so we will come back to that. But yeah, it is ultimately just a restaurant interior for the time being, and the roof here has also been slightly updated as well. So the roof now has 2 full barriers, okay, so one here and one over here as well. Right, so 2 spawns up on the top floor here, and this one is to substitute the roof spawn that would have otherwise been there in the original. Beyond that, that is the only sort of major significant changes up here. We've done a little bit more detailing, so blood and sort of water details leaking through and such. So this is one of those areas where I'm still sort of getting the vibe right, but it does give you a bit of a sample as to what to expect. Okay, we do have ammo crates in here as well. That is otherwise really about it for this room so far. Moving on, we've got the bank. So the bank has jug, as previously mentioned. The counters are now mantleable, so zombies do not follow you up here, but the sort of playable space is, I guess, thin enough to still take damage from zombies, so not too worried about zombies being able to climb up onto there. Although that may change, I'll see. I'll need to see how and if it works. But yeah, this is all mantleable now. And we have added the back room here. So we've got the vault up the back, which is currently not functioning. So this is just a visual thing right now. But the back room here is lit. There will be another ammo crate over here. This model is subject to change. Again, otherwise no real significant changes in here. The most work has probably been done on the apartment / workshop side of things. So if we come up here, so this area is now sort of fully detailed. Right, so we've got double tap over here pending the newer models from Black Ops 6. And this is the apartment which has been converted into a workspace or a workshop for Project Janus. So this will tie into the lore of the map. And otherwise, yeah, no other significant changes in here. Still 1 perk, still a zombie spawn. There will be some Easter egg related matters here as well. And then the other side of this building is just the storeroom for the flower shop below. So again, no real significant changes in here aside from that it's all been clipped. Still working on some detailing in the zombie spawns here. And we've obviously got some sound design here as well. The comic shop hasn't changed. There's just a light in there now, so I may go in there a bit later, but no significant changes. There is a slight change to this space here. Now, in the original transit, or the original town, this is occupied by 2 dumpsters, so one there, one here. I've actually converted this space from a dumpster to a little utility shack, and this is where the master switch for the Liberty Guardian will be contained, and you'll be able to access this through an Easter egg. So that Easter egg is still currently in development. Hopefully should roll out in time for the beta testing, so you guys can check that. But we'll come back to this momentarily. It's the exact same sort of size and ratio of the dumpster, obviously just not in height. So there's no invasiveness of the playable space in that sense. But it does obviously offer a little bit of a different flavor to that sort of part of the map. Then we've also got the bowling alley. So the bowling alley has not had any significant updates, I believe, since the last showcase. The only real major thing is just that the counters are now mantleable, and the zombies can actually come up here and get you as well. For these ones here, not... so they are mantleable, but the zombies do not come up onto these ones. So same situation as the bank. The playable space is not wide enough for the zombies to not be able to reach you. So I may not add the traversals for the zombies onto this one at this stage. But again, pending feedback, we'll see what happens. Beyond that, nothing else really. We've got an ammo dump in here. I've just sort of finished up detailing bits of the sort of, I guess, the bowling area part of it. You know, some debris on the ground and such. Finished detailing this sort of spawn over here. Again, maybe a few more details and decals and whatnot. We'll see as things progress, and overall just sort of clipping as well. Okay, so the playable space. There was previously 2 zombie spawns, so one in the back left and one over by the sort of, I guess, the food stand, whatever you want to call it. I felt like it was a little bit slow in its pacing, so I have added one more spawn here. So the zombies come from the outside, and just completed sort of like the vista workout here as well. Currently no sound ambience in this room, so that's still a work in progress. A lot of the map doesn't really have sound design implemented for it just yet. So you guys will be able to sort of see that as the map progresses. But yeah, keen on ideas, suggestions. I do want to make this sort of a much more like arcadey feeling. So, you know, some low ambient arcade music sort of playing, or maybe some voices over an intercom or anything along those lines. So we touched on it a little bit just before, but the Liberty Guardian. So the Liberty Guardian for this map is also known as the Civil Protector from Shadows of Evil. Now, it operates the exact same way. The only difference here is just the name and the model. Okay, so there are 3 fuses around the map. These will spawn in as a part of a broader quest. So these locations are subject to change, although they may end up being here in the full release. I'm not too sure just yet. But there are three fuses. So currently one in the bowling alley, one is on top of the restaurant, which we will grab here, and one is also up here in the workshop on top of these barrels. And so with all 3 collected, what we can do is take them to the master switch, pop them in, and we now have the call boxes activated, so we can contribute to the Liberty Guardian Fund. We don't quite have enough money just yet, so we'll come back once we do. A small tweak that I've had done by Robert was to change this from MCPD, so Morgue City Police Department, I believe is what it stood for, and this has been changed to Liberty Falls Police Department. It's still emergency response. The model itself is otherwise no different. Same with the master switch. It's a little bit blurry, but Liberty Falls emergency response. So just those little details to flesh it out. And once we've got enough money, I'm just going to contribute to it now. Once we've got enough money, I'll call that in and I'll show you what's different about it. Just while we're working on some points. So this ether trap here is still in progress. So once we've got the effects, there'll basically be a radial effect here, and that'll supplement. What's the word? Substitute. That'll substitute the lava in this instance. So this central part of the intersection will basically be covered by an active ether trap, which will be permanently on, and that'll just slow down the player as well as zombies. It'll do a little bit of damage, not anything too much, not as much as it would have in the original transit or the original town, but it'll be basically more or less the same as what it does in Black Ops 6, just that it's not toggleable, it is permanently on. And it also won't sort of disintegrate the zombies the way it does. So it will just sort of slow the zombies down in that sense. And it might electrify them, or it might put a bit of an effects on them themselves. I don't really know, but it won't kill them, so to speak. Alright, so we've got more than enough points here. Let's go call in the Liberty Guardian. So finishing this off. And so as you can see, it is basically just a remodeled Civil Protector, and it is Ted, or the player model for Ted from Black Ops 4. I thought it was a nice sort of tie-in and mashup between what I'm sort of going for, because this is meant to obviously be Town from Black Ops 2. So I thought the addition of a Civil Protector for this style of map would be really fitting. And I'm surprised that they didn't do it for Liberty Falls, to be quite honest. And then having it be Ted, I thought was just, yeah, a nice mashup of the two. So this is one of the things that I'll be getting feedback on in terms of his duration, the damage he deals, all those sorts of things. So I'll let you guys sort of give some feedback on that once the time comes. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it's really cool. I wanted to give a shout out to Figglebottom for getting me the model and setting it up. I was able to set up the textures and everything, so they might be a little bit hit or miss, but otherwise, yeah, pretty schmick. And he does come with his own voice lines as well, so the voice lines have been subbed out. Although they are a little bit quiet, so I'll probably look at adjusting those. And then there will be an upgrade quest as well. So right now I don't have that implemented. So right now the upgrade trigger is just over here in the corner. One of the other things that I've added in is a music Easter egg. So you guys should be able to find the bunnies around the map. So I'll showcase one of them for you. All right, so one of them is over here by this dumpster. And it's a little hard to hear right now because we've got zombies surrounding us. So let's clear out some of these. Alright, and so as you can hear, it's got the Mr. Peak sort of giggling from, I believe, Modern Warfare Zombies. And then it is obviously the Mr. Peak's bunny as well. And if you hit it, it'll have a little sound effect play as well. So these bunnies don't disappear, so the music Easter egg will be reactivatable, if you would. So 3 of those around the map. Locations are subject to change, again pending feedback to see if it's sort of too easy, not hidden enough and such. But you can keep an ear out for those if you're the one playtesting the map, and yeah, give your feedback and suggestions as well. But that has been added. The current music Easter egg is just the one from Liberty Falls. Again, obviously just the tie-in makes sense. So hitting 3 of those will activate the song, and then once the song's finished, you can go reactivate them if you wish to do so. Something else that was added that is really cool is these siren lights. Now that is thanks to Saint Vertigo, otherwise known as Man. So a few of those around the map just to add a little bit of ambience as well. I believe that they do that in Liberty Falls. But I found that it just added a little bit of sort of pop and flair to the map. It just adds a bit more to the map. So it's not on every single police car, but just a few of them, and I really love it. And I guess the other thing is just that the vistas have all been sort of finished, more or less. So, you know, if you look down every avenue, there is a vista of some kind. Okay. So most of this is all otherwise finished, pending a little bit of detail here and there. And the last one is over here. So yeah, so that is all otherwise done. The roads have also changed. So the roads were, they were completed by Mad Gaz. Mad Gaz offered to sort of help out with the roads, get them a little bit more Liberty Falls feeling, which I'm super grateful for. So he's added a lot more of like those more subtle details, which really make the road look a bit more, it makes it stand out more basically. So some of the models may be clipping into the ground because he's done it in a way where it pivots up in the center, whereas mine was a little bit more sort of, I guess, lumpy, if you would. It wasn't as sort of central. So some of the models may be clipping. I'm still yet to sort of tidy it all up. But that is otherwise really it. The only thing I'm going to show you guys is the current Pack-a-Punch camo. The camo is subject to change. I'm working on it, but again, it's one of those things that you guys can give your feedback on as the map progresses. Ideally, what I'd like to do is something in the way of a mashup between the Black Ops 2 camo and Black Ops 6. So not necessarily Liberty Falls, but something Black Ops 6 related, whether it's you know, Dark Ether, or whether it's just, you know, something in the way of how they do the blue, green, red kind of thing, or the blue, green, orange, or whatever it is. Because they do the tiers, obviously. So that is subject to change. I'm still figuring it out. But this is a little bit of a showcase as to what the camo currently looks like, which I do believe this is the same one I used in Alexandria, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I just wanted to have something that was different to just the stock camo so far. Okay. But I do like this camo. It's just, it feels a bit overused in the sense of galactic sort of spacey stuff, and even Dark Ether I feel like is a little bit overused in my opinion, but we'll see. So again, one of those things, you guys give me your feedback, and yeah, well, I guess we'll see sort of what the majority is vibing with. With that in mind, that is pretty much everything at this current stage, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe. You can keep up to date with all posted videos such as this, and otherwise just playthroughs of other zombies maps. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you guys are interested in playtesting this yourself, this will be live as of Thursday. So the Thursday just gone. So that means by the time this video is out, that link will be live to Prime and Elite members of my Patreon. So if you're interested in playing it early and you know, giving your feedback and contributing to the development of the map, please do feel free to come over, show your support, show your love, and you guys can gain access to that pretty much instantly. Until then, guys, that is all that I've got for this video. I hope you did enjoy, and I will catch you all in the next video. If you haven't already, check out one of the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.